part mostly to try to work 20 feet of road, you know. You got the width of the whole machine, you know, the dipper. You know, this one here, you can dig half the road, put your culvert in, set up, fill it in, set up, and dig the other half of the road, and get it done. That one there, you can't get half the road to get a culvert in, because the machines are big and most of the roads are so tight and narrow, you know, that you can't get that one far enough away from what you're trying to do, and like on the bracket road thing.
Ditch line. So.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that Fred mentioned
Let's
earlier
see.
was, in the wintertime, if they want to do snow removal, or not necessarily snow removal, but push back the banks, this is a better tool for that type of job.
Yeah, but they would use the loader to move more snow. This wouldn't move
this
would be good for right here in town maybe, but to go move the big snow, you'd use the loader, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was explaining to Peter. If we had the loader up, say Providence Lake moving drifts, you know, Chucky comes in, needs a load of sand, go up and sand it. We have the backhoe with the bucket on it to load him, to get him out of here where we don't have
You'd have to
nothing
bring
else.
the other
We'd
one
have to
back.
go over,
Or
run and
vice
get that one and
versa,
bring
yeah.
it back.
Yeah.
You know, I was just figuring I got kind of the best of two worlds. This one here is, the one they have over there has control levers that are right on the seat, so you don't have the two levers in front of you. Everything's right.
Oh,
right on the
joystick
side.
like
Yeah,
the thing?
just like joysticks, yeah.
Yeah.
Fred, is the one you're looking at is a used one or a new one?
It's a new one, but they used it as a demo, and they rented it out a few times. It has 1,300 hours on it, and
It's a lot of demo too.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
comes with 3 buckets, and the extender hole and the wrist. Like that one there has a wrist on it. You see the big thing hooked to the bucket.
Right.
Now that will turn 45 degrees left to right,
Oh, really?
so you can
Makes a
turn it
big
sideways.
difference
So you
ditching
can
on the hills.
so you
and
can do
stuff.
the sides, and
Ah.
you can do the swales for your riprap and everything.
You're gonna
And
get
the
a thumb with the
backhoe,
one you're
I
looking
would
at?
say the backhoe.
No,
will come
yeah,
with that.
this one, Pyrex, comes with what they call a jaw bucket
Yeah.
instead of a thumb. You
Okay.
can have a thumb if you want it. It
Bucket
comes-
splits?
The bucket opens up like
Yeah.
a 4-in-1 bucket on a front bucket.
Yep.
You can reach right out and grab stuff, and load with that. I mean, you can get it either way. Comes with either one.
Okay.
But this one is set up right now. If you put the Wayne Roy wrist on it, it will come with 3 Wayne Roy buckets, just like that one right there. Come right off, one pin. It's got, you can see the pin underneath the back with a little L on it. So that, take a snap ring off that, pull that pin off, the bucket comes right off. It's like I don't know, almost like a wishbone U-shape. Just reach right out, look in the top of the bucket. It's a round shot.
See, and my thought is that when you need, it seems we already have one, why couldn't we swap when we needed it? Why couldn't that go over to the transfer station?
That's a good idea.
Why can't that go over when you need it for 5 days?
Yeah.
Because you were saying the only thing you need is because Bracket Road consists of a 5-day project.
Project, yes.
And we can only use it for 2 days if they're open over there. I don't think they use it every day.
Yeah.
So, yes, you could probably steal it for 3 days, or steal it for 4 one week, give it for 2. But on the days you couldn't use it, why can't that machine go over there and you take that bucket and maybe we get out of it just by buying a swivel?
As
But
long
the
as
bucket's
you're
The biggest thing with,
training,
So that,
Training.
as long as the individual's trained and can
Right.
run the thing.
well, I'm assuming if they
Well,
can run that
mainly
backhoe,
what
they
they
can run
use it
that.
for is to tamp down containers.
Yeah.
So you wanna make sure
why
you've
can't
got,
that just drive across the street when you need the backhoe for a few more days? You know, so that's what I'm
Keep
saying.
'em-
To keep them, just keep
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah.
And then
Good idea.
you bring it back and you don't need the backhoe, you swap back and go. I don't know, I just have a problem with backhoes. I think they're obsolete and they're headed to the obsolete factory.
Well,
But in
my-
your business, it may be different because I'm only thinking in the excavation world.
my concern with that is if we put a swivel on theirs, you're looking at probably $10,000 between putting the swivel on it, the wrist, plus buying the ditching bucket.
We do not have a fund for equipment, adding to equipment like that.
So if we
Find
take,
But you
machine
don't
with
think
it on.
people
Fine.
would want to change a warrant, change money and ask for spending 100,000, 110,000 on a new piece of equipment as for if we can get away with it with just 10? I mean, I think people would want to change.
I think you'd have to put in this coming year's budget $10,000
Yeah.
for that. you wouldn't be able to use the money that's already in there for heavy equipment.
I
That's
just
a
think that
part
back
for
over there would
heavy equipment.
better him than what it is over there.
Yeah, I'm just explaining that the parts for the heavy equipment can't be used for that the capital reserve money can't be used for parts.
I see.
It can only be used for heavy equipment.
That's why I'm asking Warren to look into a cardboard compactor over there.
Definitely.
Because if you could get a cardboard compactor over there, you pretty much wouldn't need the backhoe. You know,
Well,
they
Clean
could,
up the snow.
They do
there's
it
some-
for the demolition debris. I saw
There's-
Leroy crunching.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
can
there's
surely
some
come
stuff.
over here and borrow it
But that thing
if
was
they
crushed
needed it.
demolition
That's what I
debris,
don't
just,
understand.
you know,
Why
they
are
could-
they
yeah,
borrowing
they
it
could
instead
throw
of
one of
him?
these over one day
My
a week and do
concern
what
about
they
the
need.
whole thing is, once the risk goes on that, it's not as big as that one. If you take it over and start pounding on the demo, is it gonna save the risk up at, $5,000,
In reality comes, how many hours a year would you put on the machine? And is it cheaper just to rent somebody that owns the machine and have him come in and we need you to ditch this, we need that? And I think if we go towards the privatization of it, at the beginning of the year, Fred comes up with a list. We need to ditch Pine River, we need this, we need that, put it all out to bid. And either we show up with the excavator, they show up with the trucks, vice versa, something like that. Because it takes a lot of man hours to pay off $150,000.
Yeah, I
Plus
agree.
the man in it and the maintenance and all that, so look at everything. But that's a good
What I'd
idea,
like- what
sharing the backhoe and the excavator with the
I
two
know,
departments.
because like you said, all you need is for packing. If he's packing, the thing can drive across the street and he can use, I mean, it's not any difficult to drive that as it is this. I'm sure of it. That's got a steering wheel. That's got a steering wheel. How
I
much
think the one
different
thing we have to
can it
keep
be?
in mind though is this is something that Fred deals with every
Correct.
single day.
Yeah.
And I think he might have a better understanding as to his needs, as to what the equipment does, than I know nothing about this stuff. I have to rely upon an expert like, somebody who works with it all the
And I
time.
agree.
But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't, I'd like to see Fred take a look and say, look at a bunch of different heavy equipment and say, all right, we don't have any of this. We don't have this particular kind of equipment nowhere in the town of
And
Wakefield.
there's none, exactly,
And this is what we've been missing and we could use.
yeah,
And something like that, rather than say we've got a backhoe and we could use another one.
yeah,
Especially if we can sneak across the street and steal it 3 days a week.
yeah. Or 5 and
Well,
switch something out.
Yeah, I like the idea of switching.
Yeah, well, the other thing was, this one was a 2006 and it was only 50,000 with a fairly new warranty, not a brand new warranty, but fairly new, so it's about $36,000 cheaper than a 2012.
Would you think
So-
you'd eliminate the excavator if you had the backhoe? or you'd
I
leave
would
both?
like to keep that just for doing like the tar pile when we
Yeah.
crush it,
Yeah,
screening our loom,
feeding
because that
everything.
would,
How many hours does
Save-
that have on it, Fred?
with the
excavator?
excavator, yeah, I'm not sure how many hours are on it.
Did they just have to
What, an
repair that a few
86?
years ago?
We just put a new engine in it, I think.
I thought there was a
5 years
major
ago.
repair a few
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
if I
Well, and
remember
then there was
right.
another one that they just did.
We just put a new
You just
starter
put
in
a new
it.
starter in it. Was it
And,
an 86 or 88?
What's that?
The year of it?
Yes, I think it's like an 86, I think.
And that's the
year.
second one, right?
Yeah, we had an old drop
Yeah.
before that, it was in the 70s, 60s,
Yeah.
70s. Yeah, that one was just about worn out when we left it, it was leaking more oil than it was
We
worth.
could always tell where you've been.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, my
That's right.
concern was really to hopefully keep that just for working here in the yard. And if we had like the Oak Hill project where we did the blasting the ledge, you take that up, that's made for doing that, not beat up on the tobacco, because that machine's made to do heavy digging, so I figured if we still had it, and like the landfill could still use it, we have, have no
Especially
objection to sharing.
if all of a sudden they
Yeah.
have that, and to me, that looks like it'd be easy for crushing, but I like the idea of the compactor. The stuff's dry and you can sell it. Once it gets wet, I think you have to pay to have it go away, but,
Yeah, I was talking to Warren about that this week, and he for some reason, thought they got, we
Got
get more
more?
money for it because it's wet and it weighs more.
yeah, I think we're gonna pay.
So maybe
Might
we
be
set
shooting
up a
ourselves in the
sprinkler.
foot
Yeah.
with that one, I don't know.
Maybe we ought to set up a sprinkler.
But I'd like to see a compactor down there myself, just because baling it and getting rid of it, I think would be a lot less room and a lot
You got
easier.
the skid steer with the forks to move the bales,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
so they
yeah.
do
Does
it
he
in
have a skid
Wolfboro,
steer
they bail
there?
a lot of stuff, they have
Oh,
all
so they got
kinds of
skid
it.
steer.
With
They
an
got it.
Cans,
So
everything.
So what does the
they bail it
backhoe
out.
do?
I'd love to see
Crushes
the
Then
it.
they
When you
sell
throw
it-
the
they
paper
sell it
in
when
the
the
thing, it
market's ready.
crushes.
I'd love to
In
see
the-
Our
railroad
next door,
build
we'll
a
get
spur
you the
line right into
transfer
our
station.
In the,
transfer
in the
Right.
dumpsters?
All right. just
And
pile it
that
on the
couldn't do that.
Flatbed.
That could.
Well, it could, it also takes up a
It
lot
would
more
work.
room probably than the backhoe, and the little area where they really would have to block that off.
But I think he could come in from down below and reach
Oh,
right
you
up to
think
the
he'd
front
reach
or
better?
so. Yeah. $205 a ton for steel completed in the car. Just to switch
200
subject.
I'm like, what?
$205.
$205.
Per
That's-
ton.
So you were right with the $300.
Yeah, that was the best thing to
Yeah.
do. I called, they said if it's complete with a catalytic converter and everything, $205 a ton.
Yeah, so how many ton?
Less than two.
Less than
Yeah.
I think it's around two, so it's right in there.
Right in there.
How you doing for wood for the winter? We can go take a walk around that way and we
Got
can.
a bunch of stuff right
got
here.
some.
Look at that,
Some
that's
here.
the stuff nobody wants to saw and split pile. It looks like the pile at my house.
Now, that's, we cut it up and split it.
Yeah,
We load it on the splitter with the excavator,
yeah,
split it in half, and then split it in quarters, and then pick it up and split it again.
yeah, yeah.
That's why there's usually 3 or 4 people, doing the wood pile.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
most of our wood is, 3
Pretty
or
big.
4 foot around,
Yeah. Big
You
ugly
have to
stuff.
use the excavator to load it with, But,
Is that our sweeper?
no, that one, they came to sweep the school with, 4 years ago? They never come get it.
Oh, my
No,
goodness.
supposedly the guy had a heart attack, we called him 3 times, and they said, yeah, so we finally moved it out here, because it was packed out front.
Do we got a key to it?
Yeah, it starts, runs nice.
What's the
Wow.
monthly?
I'd say after
What's
4
the
years, it might
monthly
be ours.
storage fee?
I'll tell you right now, if it is, that engine is a key nice engine.
Fred,
Real
what's the
nice
monthly
engine.
storage fee we get for down here?
Yeah,
That you
right.
probably-
We should send them a letter,
I
probably.
know, yeah.
Absolutely,
I was
especially if the
gonna
guy
say.
had a physical
Oh,
problem.
the sweeper, I was wondering where I put that.
Jeez. And it's not obviously the same company we're using.
No, we use the man out of Meredith now.
You can always suggest on the letter that if they're willing, they feel they wanna donate it to the town, we'd be more than glad to
Glad to
accept
take
it.
it off their hands.
Yeah, that's
We've
good.
stored it for this long, we got no
Right.
problem
Why
storing
don't you
it.
give me some of that information, Fred, on
Okay.
that, and we'll send
The
it
engine
over.
in that is a nice engine. We wanted to take it out a few times, put it in the screener. It's a nice little John Deere engine. It's a nice engine.
Any more
It
questions?
runs good.
I just wanna state that I don't mind, thinking about the privatizing thing, but I think it should be a baby step thing where maybe just pick a end of a town and try it for this season, such as like East Wakefield or something.
Well, with the trucks we got, we needed another part-timer just to drive now, not even fixing this one, right?
You need at least one
Well, we need at
least
person.
one
Yeah,
other.
you only have 2 guys and myself.
Yeah, so
So
we
it'd
need,
take the whole crew just to drive 3 trucks.
We should
exactly.
be looking at putting a help one out there just for
For a
part-time
part-timer,
driver.
just as we've got with Mr. Greg.
Yep.
He'd be perfect, so there's a part-timer there. And then we still need to find a small route to subsidize,
But we
which
can at
sounds
least,
like it's
we can check it out, see if
Yeah.
it would work. A
Yeah.
little baby step into East Wakefield, the
Well,
furthest area
It
away.
works fine right next door. They got 3 trucks they sub out every year.
Yep.
What, Ossipee?
No,
No,
highway.
the highway,
Oh,
state
state.
State highway.
You know, so they're doing it.
I don't have a problem with that, I just,
Yeah.
that way we can work easy in it.
Yeah.
After we look at the boiler, can we just have, I'd love him to photograph that salt shed so that people can see exactly why we want
Well,
to
when
replace that.
I think at the deliberative session, that's what we want is the PowerPoint.
I'll get you the
Exact
name of the man.
Yeah.
Well, we were, about a barrel, we're going to ship on a barrel a week.
Yeah.
About 250 gallons a week.
Yeah, so we're in the thousands of
Yeah,
gallons of
we're
oil.
probably, I'd have to look, I'm not sure just what
So
it
what
was.
kind of cardboard
But
do
we
you burn a year compared to, I mean, how's the comparison? I mean,
Well, you figure if you bought, say, 2 truckloads and they're $1,500 a load, it's $3,000 for probably, 20 wood.
yep,
So that's a season's load of wood. Preparing to fill the tank every 2 weeks at 300 gallons at $1,200 at $4 a gallon. So,
and most of your wood is free, because you're
yeah,
filling it
mostly
off
we
the
get
street.
off the side of the road, but we have
You
got
can burn
it.
anything in there,
It's
right?
getting a little harder to get the wood off the side of the road because most people want it now.
Yeah.
Because now when you cut a tree down on the side of the road,
You
if
ain't
it's
got
in
time
front
to
of
pick it up,
somebody's,
somebody else is
well,
already there.
if it's in front of somebody's house or property, you have to ask them if they want it.
Yeah.
And if they want it, you know, they keep it.
That
you know,
double-edged
so-
sword, if you leave it, you're a slob, if you take
Yeah.
it, you're a thief.
Yeah,
Yeah, but when you're,
cut down
if
big trees,
you're not
you won't be able
cleaning,
to take it.
you're not cleaning other people's land, you're doing it 25 feet
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
center
you're
of the
doing it right
driveway.
away.
You're
Right.
If
doing
it's in the
your-
right of way, you don't have
You
to
don't have to.
ask them.
It's the nice
It's just a
thing.
courtesy.
It's a courtesy thing. It's a courtesy.
because I know when down in front of my house, when they just went down through cutting there, there's 3 trees they wanted to take down. They wouldn't take them down unless I
I
said,
know my
okay, do
boys
it.
just followed the
It's not-
aspirin trucks all around a little while.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They made a few $100s at that.
Oh,
Nice.
I could use a paint job with it.
It's, yeah, that's, we built that.
That's great.
Yeah, Daryl and Rusty built that.
Wow.
Made out of a riding lawnmower engine. And the piston we had to purchase, but they built everything else.
Really?
The main beam on it, we had an old beam we cut in half and welded it together and then built the push frame for going onto the 4-way splitter. We built that,
Wow.
so.
And this is all the wood left over from
Yeah,
last year?
most of this under here is pine over in here.
Oh,
And this
yeah.
is some, you know, that we've got
That
in the
you picked up.
last year on the sides of the road. Picked up.
Can you burn anything in there?
It burns, it's not really bond to pine, it's gotta be real dry.
Right, yeah.
You can't burn it like the older style.
Confused on why we need
Doubling up.
doubling up with all the equipment over there. I don't think it needs that.
Especially when the transfer
Why can't one
station works
switch
weekends.
It's across the street.
It's, you know, Friday to Monday, so the main
It
focus
really,
is
like,
weekends, and these
Even the
guys are
hybrid,
weeks,
they
so
like
I
it
think
drier.
just,
It's workable.
and the big thing is we've always,
Down at that transfer station every day.
no, I wouldn't think so. The big thing is we've always done is what we did last year and the year before, and we always want this and that. We just gotta step back and new thinking come in to say, let's share the stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I don't see any reason why we can't share. Especially
That
if
sounds like a
if
good
it
idea
was,
to me.
if it was 3 miles up the road, it'd be different, because then you got trucking, you got all this.
Yeah,
We're talking about
yeah.
driving it across the street.
Across the street, yeah.
You know?
And I know the big thing is county government and municipal sharing and all having, you know, top administration being shared out through, but this is simple stuff. It's across the street. Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense to have, you know, one salt shed for 5 towns.
Well, I guess where I was going with it, if he was talking about having one front end loader up there at Province Lake and not having access to another one, what's wrong with that one?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Hey, Fred, we got 2 loaders. Are they both ours?
No, this one's a transfer station, that was ours.
No, but when he
gave
said
it to
ours, I
them.
think he means the town.
The
Yes,
towns.
well, the towns, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. That's-
So we
just
got 2.
repacked- We just repacked the pistons in that one.
That's a
Yes,
thought
today.
pattern we have to get into now, is stop thinking of ourselves as separate just because we're different departments, but thinking of ourselves as one as being a town, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
And that's, like I said, we gave it the transfer station when we bought the new one we have now.
Yeah.
So where's that salt shed? If you wanna
the
get-
salt shed is around the corner here, and you'll see what a lovely building it is. Just look from here.
Really, almost transfer station, all got more equipment than we do.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
We really do have a lot.
That's a beaut, isn't it? Good in its day.
But it's still there.
I know.
Still doing what it's supposed to
Still
do.
standing.
It's still doing everything else. I mean,
Don't stand too close to it.
The yellow pine holds
So why
up
can't we
well.
just put a new pole
Big
in?
winds haven't taken it down yet.
Put a couple new trees. Plant some.
Plant
Put some
some.
new trees.
Don't set 'em right,
I'm doing something I built then, okay?
if they're the right height, just chop them off.
Well, I'll tell you, I almost think, this was here when Lawrence was here, right?
Yeah, Lawrence put it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I almost think I helped do something on this when we were doing the fields.
Was it Dean Tasker and Chase built it, I think?
I thought that was built by,
David Toll.
David Toll.
David Toll might have.
Yeah.
That was,
Could have been David.
and it's lasted, it's out, you know, it's lasted quite a while.
Yeah,
It's certainly done its job.
Probably cost $100 a year.
But I think the new one, we talked about pushing it further back towards the tree line.
Right on the tree line.
I don't know if we're so clear behind it. You wanted to rent them over.
Well, we've, old trees on this side.
No, it is.
We make it a lot easier for Elkie or Mahoney or whatever to salt that they back into the first bag.
Is this just salt?
Right now, they're all topped off like this.
Salt and nice.
Salt and
I think just salt, sand over
That's
there and salt
sand,
right here.
Salt here. Yeah, we pre-mix it, fill this up,
Definitely need a new building.
so it's all ready for, you know, going out. You know.
Have we decided on a new building, Fred, or what we're gonna
Nobody's, you know, come up with a sure plan yet on what we want.
do? You had a
you know.
footprint of one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I had two, one with a pitched roof, one with a shed roof, and I think Charlie's got a,
I got a few ideas
Ideas
that,
for one,
well, I
too.
got costly ideas,
No,
that,
so-
that, the costs of things that are not as costly as someone has been talking about. I can't see it being that much money. So I looked into the,
We're looking under
especially the
50,000
trusses.
for the new
Under
one.
50.
Yeah, and it's not gonna
The
cost.
same size?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're actually gonna put a kind of a dormer, not a dormer, what do you call it, a shed roof on the side
On
to
each
park a piece
side
of
to park
equipment?
stuff
Yeah.
on.
Oh, I see, okay.
the new one we figured was for 25-foot bays.
Yeah.
This one here, I think is only
You'll still have to
15.
dump out here and push in?
Yeah, we'll still have to dump it. Well, they can get most of it in anyway when
Yeah.
they dump.
Yeah.
You know, and then we just finish pushing it in. They do good when they dump, you know,
Yeah.
with a much wider bay, they can even do a lot better, I think.
But this will be further back,
Do
so
they
you'll have
pu-
more of
what
an
do they
area
push
to
it
work
out
here.
instead of dump up? I was gonna say, how do they dump up? They must have something that pushes it
Well, we
out.
have two that come that have what they call a
Live
walking bottom.
Okay,
That walk almost like a pallet.
yeah.
Goes back and then it comes back around, goes under the stuff material and then walks it off again.
All right.
We were talking 2 days or two and a half days?
Well, we were talking,
Thanks, Peter.
Hi,
we
Peter.
had up to one time 3 bays,
Right, we were talking 3 and then we kind of cut it back
Back
to
to
a 2 and a
2 with,
half with a,
2 lean-tos off
yeah,
each
2
side.
lean-tos on the side to park some of the equipment. Like,
That was what the idea for the 3rd bay was also, to put that in.
Right.
You know.
It's just like we were saying
Cut
with the
the cost
acid,
down.
acid rain and the UVs
Right.
and all
Right.
that
Yeah.
stuff, everything just gets eaten
Yeah.
up.
right.
Whether it's the wood splitter you wanna put in there or
Sure.
whatever.
I
I'm sure
mean,
you've
we
got stuff
have
inside
plenty
you
of
can,
stuff that we can move up, yes.
Yeah.
Now, that's when we're talking about
But
the
it's nothing to build,
mechanics and, you know, a lot
it's
of.
nothing to build lean-tos off the sides of these things, once you get your structure up.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? What's this thing?
It's a cage for the 1-ton, so when we get the billy goat going, start doing the leaves and stuff on the road,
Oh, I see.
we can pour it right in the back of the truck. Be almost like a chipper over the billy goat, but it just doesn't do wood, you know. Pick up the leaves and sticks and twigs and stuff. We figure we blow it right back on 1-ton and we can dump it, go right back out, get another load. So, it's, with the salt shed being back further, it's gonna be a lot more efficient for,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
filling and dumping and everything into, you know. And we're gonna be able to get a lot more, well, you almost get probably your winter salt in 1 bay, really. You know,
Yeah.
25 foot
Find
by
at the right time, then you've
16
got it.
foot high, yeah.
Yeah. The
That's
salt you've
everything I
got
got.
now, take you into January, you figure?
Yeah, if we don't start getting, you know,
Normal.
snow in October like we've been getting it, yeah. We got pretty near enough. We can get one more load in there.
How deep is that?
What is that? 40 feet, 45 feet?
Doesn't look that big from here, but.
I know,
yeah.
it doesn't,
Well,
when you
yeah,
look
'cause
at
you're
it, I
in the
know
middle
you're
of
gonna
a
check
field,
what
yeah.
the size. Yeah. And that's what they're gonna have a plan.
It's a beautiful
With the-
Yeah.
Give you X amount of dollars and you rent the stuff out to go grab what you need versus heavy replacement.
That's the hardest part, is there ain't a whole lot of money for rent right now, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Do we have
I
a
mean-
budget that's for rental, or is that something comes
Well,
out
we were
of
just
there?
talking his line is, you know, we need to, we can create one, but at the end, it's all, you come out zero.
Well, there is,
So
there
we've
are
got a
rules
Gotta
about
be
like
rolled.
estates
Weekly,
when
Exactly.
things
payroll.
have funds sitting in the account,
savings.
somebody's died,
Right.
nobody
When you get
claimed
those-
them.
Right.
The
And then they
compactor,
goes
they
to
use
state,
that on
the state
the,
has to list them,
culverts,
give adequate warning
or
to.
you just
Yeah,
put the
oh, the
culverts in and compress it?
vibrate and compactor, the
Yeah.
little one, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, but like we're doing one like we just did on Oak Hill Road, we use the big one we got over there. So that's a vibratorial one and everything. We
Yeah.
roll them good and it packs right in. This one you just set right in the ditch and as you come up the layers, you can
Yeah.
compact it down. You know, it's perfect for on the hot top roads, you know.
Yeah.
Get in the ditch, compact it as you come up through with that. Plus, we can use it on the hot top, but we can't use the big one
The
on the
big
hot
roller.
top, you know.
Yeah, burn right through.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any more questions? All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to accept it.
Yeah.
Second.
Seconded.
Second,
You got
thank you.
quorum and you're good.
Yeah.